Ahoy, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah. Hey, Dave. How's it going? How are you doing? Hey, how's it going, Delaciel? That's awesome to hear, Sonic Dave. I caught the end of the local golf tournament, and it was a pretty nuts finale. Alright, let me remember where the heck I was. I'm going back and forth between my Champion's Covenant character and this character, so I have to remember what I was doing. Yeah, like he got that shot without really seeing it, pretty much blind, aiming for the flag, wing and a prayer. All right. There is one thing I want to get, and I'm gonna have to do some backtracking for it. Those of you in the know is probably already know what I'm gonna do. It's Staff of Wisdom, which in Scholar is with a Mimic treasure box that I basically skipped. We're gonna complete Earthen Peak at least. Yeah, and then we'd have Duke's Dear Freya. Yeah. Enter Iron Keep, which is pretty much my worst area in Scholar. Yeah. But first I need to pick up something that I skipped. So let's do that. Doors of Pharaohs. Alright. So the Staff of Wisdom is actually a really good staff, but I'm gonna have to kill a bunch of things to get to it. Me first. Lacerating arrows are pretty good, at least for the bleed. Unlike Dark Souls 3, bleed is a DOT. Where in Dark Souls 3 it's a burst damage. Hey Toby, how's it going? How's everything going for you? Can I kill this from here, or turn the camera? Camera? No, guess not. first thing on the list of things to do is to equip a bow of some sort. Yeah. Right. See that? That's a treasure chest, or it would be if it wasn't a mimic. I just need to apply poison and then wait. Mimic, get back here. Yeah. Plan B, since Mimic is not being helpful. It's actually way better to just kill it this way. My melee build was able to do it, but Mimic is not having it today. Also, this guy is annoying. Hey Hunter M, how's it going? Alright, there. Remember when I mentioned poisoned arrows are ridiculous in this game? Yeah. Mimic. Yeah. Visions of Capra Demon. Oh, am I out? Okay. Yeah, dark damage doesn't do a whole lot to him. Yeah, things happened. Sorry about that. Alright, let me get ready to kill a pig. Because there's a pig at the bottom of the well. You know, if it let me through. I was, but, like, stuff with the house didn't finish up until, like, 9, so I was like, guess I'm not streaming today. You know, this dumb roof. My warlock is definitely not my melee builds. How in the heck is this not breaking? It's supposed to break. You're supposed to think. Okay. Like, it breaks, but I attribute it to my warlock not being strong. Alright, that's about it. So go up here and grab the Staff of Wisdom, which is what I would like to switch to. Let's go to McDuff's because he has... We'll go to McDuff's soon. Yeah, like, it's a bit... It's rebalanced. Like, a lot of the powerful weapons are just rebalanced around. Like, Staff of Wisdom is pretty good. Twinkling.
I'll be around.
So, yeah, it's pretty much increases everywhere except, is that Magijust in the bottom? Really? Oh, I need 50. Okay. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. But I have the weapon. Yeah, if you're shoving every point into intelligence, then you'll probably have it by the time you get there. Hey, kill you, Minanti. What's up? Okay, so fix some things around. Let's go finish up with Earthen Peak. Earthen Peak's a bit of a pain in the butt, so... It's harder to say how far along you are, but I have killed 2 of the 4 Lord Souls. So I have 2 of the 4 of them. So once we get all 4 of them, that puts you at basically halfway through. DS2 is a very long game. Yeah, once you get the first 4, it's like halfway. DS2 is very long. Yeah, well, DLC I put in the back half of the game. Like, it's a long game. It's the longest of the series. But, like, when you're speedrunning it, you just pretty much kill the Rotten 4 times, and then you skip, like, half the game. Hey, Vivenian! Nice to see you. What's going on? I need a throwing knife. I don't want to get poisoned. I don't wanna... That'll do. Ah, dang it. Fine. Where's my... There is a reason why I'm doing this. Ah, come on, game. Yeah. Fine. Guess I'll just get poisoned. Stupid game. Making me get all poisoned. So, she's the one who's throwing fireballs at you when you were approaching the first time. Hey, the gloves. I like the gloves, at least in DS3. They're nice, simple gloves. If you notice down there, there's a new NPC. JSF's favorite NPC. Don't tell him I told you that. Yeah, I usually use throwing knives for him, but I didn't have any. He's something else. Nice, simple, black gloves. Hey, he's spoken about it all over the place. So if you go up here, Jerk Sans Frontier. He is another content creator. Cool guy. Run! Ah! He does some great Bloodborne videos. His Bastard's Curse videos is one of the better lore videos out there. It's definitely well worth your time. Let me read to you guys what we just got. We just got the spell Quartz ring, and I didn't read the Staff of Wisdom. So let's do that. So this is the Staff of Wisdom, Staff of the Lost Land of Olafis, sorcery dedicated catalyst. Cannot be used to cast hexes. The crystal at the tip of the staff greatly augments spell strength, already a finely crafted staff, made even more effective by its crystal, the brilliance of which has been polished over time with powerful magic. Could be like a Seath crystal that they found and they stuck on a staff and they're like... And we picked up the spell Quartz ring +1, and it is a ring bestowed upon students of a certain standard at the Melfian Magic Academy. It's soul-based quartz, increases magic defense, and quartz is basically a crystal. Pyromancer Glockin crafts these replicas, much to the dismay of the conservative old guard faculty. So this is a fake, but it works. So... That's kind of the revelation. It's a fake, and quartz is a stone people use for diamonds and stuff sometimes. Makes a good kitchen what's it called? Countertop. That's right. So this is a silly room. It's full of armor breaking bug guys. They're absolutely nothing in Dark Souls 3, but they are a thing in Dark Souls 2. They will break your stuff. What's in here is a mimic and a Pharos Lockstone that opens up a healing spring. So if you need to be healed, there's a healing spring in there. Which has some implications for the whole area. By the way, as soon as you light the windmill on fire, the pool in front of the very first bonfire for the valley, Harvest Valley, is gone. It's a neat little touch. Hey guys. Yeah. The Mimic is holding a work hook and more pieces of Dark Wraith armor. Not that big a deal. So we're going to go down this way and we're going to eventually meet a couple NPCs. Oh, come on. That's it. Stupid fall damage! I like the, yeah, shoot, Rebellion. Let's go this way. Nope, not that way. The Hemwick, at least the Hemwick residents are under a different spell. Like, they're not all there to begin with, and neither are the Yharnam residents. Like, they see the beast in everyone. Oh, dang it. I hate mannequins. But yeah, so in Bloodborne, everyone's kind of infected, so they're kind of hollowed out. Well, that game's version of hollowing out. They've grown bestial, and so, but they're not fully transformed because, you know, they're just townsfolk and stuff like that. So they see you as an outsider, and they just attack because that's pretty much all they know now. Yeah. Yeah, they're insane. They're soups insane. Although Bloodborne also says a little bit about xenophobia in a very interesting way. Yeah. They couldn't handle the truth that they were shown in bits and glimmers and stuff like that, so they just kind of went nuts. Yeah, like infection does tend to make a person delirious, and go through a delirious state. So I would suggest the townsfolk of Yharnam were going a little bit mad. from their infections. What's going that way? Here we should meet. Yes. It's Pate. Hello, Pate.
Well, we meet again.
Yeah, Hemwick too. And I would also suggest that the Hemwick witches, being major denizens of the Chalice Dungeons, came up from the Chalice Dungeons and seduced them that way too.
There's treasure this way, but I have a bad feeling about it.
Because they're less bestial and just more insane, just in general. So here's Mean Patches again. He's telling us that there is a treasure nearby, but he doesn't have the guts for it. And he expects you to get it for him. So yeah. This doesn't open from the side. You have to go kind of around. Soul Vortex is that way, so we're gonna get that. Hopefully. Yeah, Hemwick's even more fascinating because the witches are everywhere. Yeah, and the Ashen Blood is a different thing. And that's Lightning Spear. And that way is Pike. The Healing Church's experiments, mostly orphan children. So even if the kids of Gascoigne survived, they probably would have turned into aliens anyway. How was that for depressing? Gas can. Gascoigne. I think everyone's gonna call him Gascan until the end of time. Have you guys been watching IGN UK's Prepare to Try series? It's hilarious. They're through Vicar Amelia. They release a video every Saturday or so. It's like watching Father Ted. The Father Ted series, except they're playing video games. It's like you've got Dan Krupa, who's trying to keep them focused. You've got Gav, who's Welsh, and and sort of like Father Jack. And you've got Rory Powers, who's half Irish, like he's Irish, but he's like half American, and he's like Father Dougal. It's pretty great, actually. Sorcery battle! I forget if that was a mimic or not. Magic Stone, great. I needed one of those on this build. They're just desert sorcerers. Their armor is in Dark Souls 3 almost verbatim. Let me read you their gloves because I have that. Sorceresses gloves from the distant land of Jugo. We've already met somebody from Jugo. We've met a couple of guys from Jugo. Benhart's from Jugo. Appears to be plain thin fabric, but is permeated with powerful magic. Desert sorceresses have enchanting looks, and they use them to catch people off guard. Oddly enough, even those who are perceptive enough to realize the ploy fall prey to their seductions with alarming regularity. No, it's like they're half drunk and they're taking Rory to task because he's usually really bad, and they've given this personality to their player character called Finchy, and they're like, Finchy's been the same character for like 3 games or something. It's pretty funny. If you like comedy in your LPs, and not at all informative, it's still pretty great. Just don't expect MLG play or something. I forget what the treasure he's talking about. Pate, what are you talking about? Because you don't...
Well, there's treasure this way. I don't quite...
Pate, what are you talking about? Please tell me. Prepare to try. Started with Dark Souls 1. It's basically the Father Ted of video game LPs. Yeah, so with Jugo, we have a few different items from Jugo. Like, I don't have them technically, because whatever. But I think the Ouroboros armor is from Jugo. Desert Sorceresses are from Jugo. Benhart's from Jugo. Where the hell was I going? Right. Was I headed this way? Yeah, I guess I was headed this way. He's just been like, Benhart's also wearing Mura armor, by the way, and it's he's basically a scavenger. He's been that way for a while. Oh, that's a trap. I can't go back this way. I need to come and do this. We're gonna get our last NPC. Yeah, basically. All of his armor breaks after like 2 hits. He's a Kingsfield protag with Kingsfield durability. Seriously, Kingsfield, you want to complain about durability? This is Gilligan.
You idiot. Stay quiet. I'm on the run. Don't give me away. You're a fugitive too, eh? Yeah. Why else would you be here?
Shadow Tower durability is just as bad,
It's
yeah.
got death all over it. You want to climb down here? I can lend you a ladder. But, how much can you offer me? Why, yeah. Have you not got it? I let you off.
I love how it infers that you, in the middle of all of this, you complain about how the fact that he's asking you to pay. It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're a jerk. Stop making me pay. Yes. This is the corpse from Dark 3.
Go on ahead.
Dramatic ladder scene. Yeah. For those who haven't played Dark Souls 2, this is Gilligan. Gilligan is a fugitive, and he's a grifter. He makes ladders. He's sort of like a troll, a bridge troll, kind of, except instead of bridges, it's ladders. And since he's on the run, it is inferred that he survives the events of Dark Souls 2, ends up in the profaned capital, which is why there's so many ladders there, and he died somehow. And Navline walks in dead. That's really all that there is. He's also kind of the developer's mouthpiece in at least the second half of the game, because he will talk to you about pretty much everyone. I'm gonna climb down the ladder and come back, because this is a great place to do some landmarking. So what is down here? Not a whole lot, actually. It's just a Twinkling Titanite and some Pharaoh's Lockstone. Except I'll need that twinkling for my staff that we just got earlier. So not a bad haul. So, landmarking. It's difficult to say, since the path that we've taken through the copse to get to here basically takes us through a bunch of through this mountain range. Like, so it's suggested that past this mountain range is the Huntsman's copse, and then past that mountain range you get back to the start. And then out there it looks like more water because reasons. Down here you can see more of Harvest Valley. This is most of the Dark Souls 3 area that you can basically skip. Although it looks nicer in Dark Souls 3. I don't think you can see Castle Drangleic from here because Majula should be through that mountain range in about that direction. So I guess you can suggest that Castle Drangleic and most of Drangleic has already fallen into the abyss when it comes to the Ring City. This here you can see straight down into what I've missed. The sunlight, the Warriors of Sunlight is pretty much straight down to the left. And the path we took to get here more directly is through there. Happy Souls is great, although I think they miss a couple things. Which I guess makes sense because apparently that took that guy like a year and a half to do. Oh, that was me setting off the trap. Okay. Kill you? I went through the series backwards. Seriously. Super seriously. Went backwards through the series. I started with Bloodborne, I went to Demon Souls, and then I went to Dark Souls 3, and then Dark Souls 1, and then Dark Souls 2. Basically backwards. Alright, I'm gonna refresh my spells. And we're gonna go fight a boss. Yeah, my play order for the series has been kind of nuts. Alright. Life gem! No! More life gems! Enter, enter, enter. Enter! Dang it. You don't get too many iframes. Things that worked on my melee character that didn't work here. So rude. Yeah. It was. Like, because of my Bloodborne experience, I'm one of the more aggressive players that a friend of mine knows. He's like, you're super aggressive. And so, Demon Souls... wonder what that is. Demon Souls is a lot slower than I imagined it would be. But I was actually a bit let down by Demon Souls. The PvE was fine, but like the bosses, eh. So this is Mytha. Wow. That's dangerous, but... yeah. I'm gonna have to just... hit her. Mytha, you were so much nicer on my Champion's Covenant character today. For those who might not know, the Champion's Covenant locks you out of co-op, and it makes the game effectively New Game Plus at New Game 0 levels, and it makes it so that things don't depopulate as soon as you kill them like 10 times. Yeah, that's right. Killed your queen. Alright, so the queen, Mytha, is a she's a cool character. She's got some cool lore. She's basically Elizabeth Bathory of the Dark Souls world. Elizabeth Bathory is, her legend is that she used to kill virgins and bathe in their blood to keep herself pretty, basically. Gilligan tells you a bit more of this story, but she's a princess who was deeply in love with a king, and the king didn't care about her one whit, and he was in love with somebody else. She was jealous, and so she thought the first thing to do was that she should get pretty, or figure out a way to get prettier. So she decides to bathe herself in poison, which also had the side effect of turning her into a monster. If you are as old as me, and you remember the weird comedy from like 1990 called Death Becomes Her, it's basically the same thing. So let's read her soul. Soul of Mytha, the Baneful Queen, who lives in the Earthen Peak. The queen sought the king's affections, even poisoning herself to attain beauty, despite the monstrous consequences, all for the compelling madness known as love. Use the special soul of the queen to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. Yeah, so like if you're familiar with the film Death Becomes Her, they take this crazy concoction, which yes, makes them beautiful, but it also makes them undead. So there's hijinks from there, and it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing. And then again, because the lore of Earthen Peak and Iron Peak is actually really rather cohesive. The covetous demon is a guy who was in love with the queen, but she did not. Was pretty much blind to that, and he became a demon of want, and she became a Medusa-like snake queen, which kept her beauty, but you know, whatever. I went and two-handed my rapier for that because she's got magic resistance, because she's pretty much a magic character, and speed is actually more important there than it is for Najka, surprisingly. Here's the craziest bit of the game. Everybody makes fun of this elevator. Tanimura, you are banned from elevators forever. This is a load seam, and this is a loading screen, but it just makes no sense. This is why DS2 gets shit on. I find it is a little bit endearing, but yeah. But yeah, like, elevators are a load screen, and this one is the most blatant. Well, this one and the one in Castle Drang Lake is the most blatant load screens in Dark Souls 2. Welcome to the Iron Keep, a monument to one king's narcissism. We'll learn more about that soon. I gotta make a pit stop. Yeah, the elevator up in Drang Lake Castle does vary depending on how long it takes to load. I also gotta make an infusion happen. So I gotta stop at McDuff's place too. My simplish explanation for that load transition is that we don't see the mountain that it is like against, and you just go up. Like Gilligan makes a reference to that castle, because it's supposed to be the old Iron King who Mytha was trying to get the attention of. And so he's like, he thinks he sees it, but okay. Gotta make a stop at Macduff. But yeah, I like Aegon's explanation for it, that memory is a bit foggy in these places. Oh yeah, Macduff. I think the elevator in Dringlake Castle is a lot longer on PS3 than it is on PS4. Oh yeah, BioWare uses it that way. Funny story. I think I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again. Mirror's Edge, the original Mirror's Edge on PS3, was a speedrunner's dream. It was one of my favorite games of the 7th generation. However, when you're doing a time trial, there's elevators in the middle of it, and the elevators are blatant load screens. And what everybody figured out was if you paused the game, it would continue to load, but it would pause the timer. So you wouldn't lose any time to loading. And so as soon as you waited like 10-15 seconds and you unpaused the game, the elevator would immediately open because it finished loading, and you just keep running and you wouldn't lose any time. So people kind of abuse those load screens. BioWare uses it that way too. Mass Effect has some load screen elevators like that too. I can only imagine that it was done the same way. Where is... Okay, there it is. We're gonna make this into a magic rapier. Oh yeah, it was the old Mirror's Edge was free on PS Plus like 2 years ago or something like that, and I picked it up then. I played the hell out of the old Mirror's Edge. Oh, there was trophies. I have like 85% of the Mirror's Edge trophies. Achievements and trophies are required by PlayStation if you want to put them on PS3 and PS4. I haven't played the new one. I played the beta of the new one, and you can see some of those videos on my YouTube channel. I figured out a really quick route during the beta of Mirror's Edge for something, and that was fun, but I haven't gotten around to buy it yet. PS3 has a lot of games. There was 10 years of games. PS3 is a solid investment if you like that. Also, the PS3 has the best media player, able to break copyright protections without it breaking even a sweat. I had to do that for a couple of my Japanese CDs. Where was I? Oh yeah, Iron Keep. There's like the PS1 games that you can buy and play on PS3. They don't require trophies, but the PS2 to PS4 games, PS3 and PS4 games require trophies. It's like a Sony thing. They're like, we need trophies. Trophies forever. EA was all too happy to oblige. So, infusions. They're a bit weird in this game. They don't really remove your physical scaling, but they now also scale on with my intelligence because I enchanted it. So it's a big boost. So this whole, because this is a symbol to one man's narcissism, and he made it out of steel, and it is too heavy, according to Gilligan and Marigold. Yeah, like, infusions are wacky in DS2. Trying to proc an invasion. There are 2 invasions here. Fencer Sharron and Armorer Dennis. Armorer Dennis has, for me in the past, been the harder of the 2. Take the trade. Sure. Yeah. Fencer Sharron has always been the lesser of the 2 evils for me. Armorer Dennis is a right bastard, so expect me to die to him a couple of times. So these are the Alonne Knights. Alonne Knights are katana-wielding Westernish knights, but they take after their foreign dude, Sir Alonne, who we will meet much later, and it's a very cool boss fight. But let's meet Magerold, who I always confused with Marigold, and I always kind of associate with Marigold. Which allows me to kind of lower the requirements for a sorcery or anything, but I'm going to keep those. He's also got really popular sets of equipment, especially this one, sort of like the giant dad of Dark Souls 2. And that's partially because it removes your ability to get backstabbed, and so people really like that. It also reduces falling damage and number of souls required and item discovery. People really just like the set. He also sells carvings from Dark Souls 1 and charcoal pine resin and some other stuff. And he also sells some sorceries himself. But we have almost all of this except fall control. Which I guess we'll pick up fall control. Pick up the gloves. Yeah, pick up the gloves.
I'm mainly a treasure hunter, a roaming about, looking for a fold, following the instincts.
Magerold is one of my favorite NPCs for, like, nothing but that his can-do attitude is pretty good.
Weren't you in what I did? That's a good question. I suppose I must. I've been doing it for ages. There's good iron in these parts. No king used it to build a castle. Well, if you was to slowly sank into the ground. Fire spouted from the earth, and the place turned into this. At least, that's what I'm told. A bad story, eh? So, what a big. Anything for you today? Hey, you know that old fella? The hulking blue sword?
He means,
The idea of it,
Ben Hart.
I've got a feeling it's a fake. I didn't want to disappoint him, so I just sort of talked around it.
And he's talking about that Blue Moon sword.
There are lots of legendary swords out there. Have you heard of the shrine on the eastern edge of Dyanamic?
This is like your only clue as to what to do with this thing when you find it.
If only I knew how to get there. I'd go and I'd kill it for good as. I'm mainly a treasure hunter. I don't care what you suppose I.
Okay.
Cheers.
Here's a preview for a little later. This is a boss arena. Hard to say. Like, what was the Smelter Demon's option and his goal? Like, the old Iron King basically became a demon himself with Gwyn's soul, and basically a Balrog. But Smelter is well, he's almost optional. But he's blocking the way to a good bonfire, so not really. Here's a bunch of convoluted illusionary walls. Fire arrows. He said goodbye, more life gems. There's like no real reason for that trebuchet to be there. Like, if you shoot this wall, it doesn't do anything. So our first goal is to drop the bridge a little bit, because that's all I usually do these days. Can't lock onto him from here. Four zone good. That's so rude. Bah. Smelter. Helter skelter. In Scholar, there's a lot more Alonne Knights. Yeah, it's not a good room. I skip about as much of it as I can get way with it. Hey, Loki. Hi, little dog. How's it going? Hey, a red sign. That means somebody wants to fight. Iron Keep is usually a pretty good PvP ground. Trying to start the next invasion. There it is. This is the jerk. He's got soul spears, which I do not have. He's got that, which I don't have either. Ah. Miss. Armor Dennis probably should be a Blue Sentinel. He's got the Blue Sentinel shield. Oh, he's gonna kill me. Damn it. I hate Armor Dennis. Such an he's so annoying. But we're done with NPC invasions. As far as I know. lock on, run back out again. You can get that shield from the Blue Sentinels. I think it's this game's Spirit Tree. Alright, YOLO. So I can pick up my souls easier. Yeah. Okay, so half that bridge is done. I can enter Smelter Demon's room now. There's a few things to pick up, but that's a room that I don't mind depopulating a little bit. There are just a lot of Alonne Knights in there in Scholar. Have a cola. This is Smelter Knight, Smelter Demon. He's infamous. He's very difficult. Yeah. Thought I had that. I guess I'm under ADP though, so. Yeah, he's not going to mess around. He's actually a little bit better if you audio dodge him. They went into intelligence for damage. That's where they went. I'm actually only at 26, so I've got like 100 agility. Fall right in the lava. Loki, where are you going? Are you hot? Dog is hot. He's very uncomfortable. The Uchi Gatanas. I actually have no health right now either, so... Probably gonna have to effigy now. Yeah, Smelter Demon is he's an interesting boss. Once you kill him, his boss room becomes a pursuer hangout. I lost my hair, it's time for a effigy. That guy's still looking for a duel. There's Lucatiel. I'm too late. This room sucks, but what can you do? Alonne Knights have really nifty things on their shoulder. I don't know if you noticed it there. Yeah, like there's just too many of them. Like you can't explore the place. You have to drop the ladder a little bit and then just run for the boss door. Come on, let me in. Yeah, guess not. Fine, I guess I'll just try and kill them all. I don't know if it was intentional to, like, not give you immediate iframes. I think they're trying to unload people who might be in the area as invaders. And, like, try something else. If that invasion sign is for one of you guys, I'll summon you, but... just let me know. We shall fight. So rude. Yeah, Chivalry's pretty dead. Actually, Chivalry's not dead with these knights, but they don't really care about me so much. I got here on my Champion's Covenant character, and you can't depopulate on Champion's Covenant. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this later. Eventually, they'll start to depopulate. Everyone's so rude today in the Iron Keep. Alright, Forlorn, get down here. We shall have a fight. Didn't ask you. Back there. Chug. Chugga chugga chugga. Since I have to refresh anyway, I'm gonna go buy some life gems. Forlorn's only weapon is that they have a boatload of HP and they show up randomly, usually at the worst time. Yeah, I'm at 105 agility because attunement also bumps agility. It's actually better than my Champion's Covenant character that just hit 30. Bear seeks lust. There's a reason it's the topic on Discord for Dark Souls 2. So what do people think of Iron Keep while I'm halfway struggling with the stupid room? It's probably one of the more coherent lore stories in Dark Souls 2. You have a couple of people who all kind of want something but are not gonna get it, and the one guy who thinks he did probably doesn't. Gameplay wise, it's like lots of people. It's a lot of Alonne Knights. And Smelter Demon is infamous. I think I might effigy out. Yeah. Castle in the sky. Which is funny because it's described as falling into the earth. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like on the earth, and like it's sunk in so hard that it hit lava, and now lava is like displacing it. Emotes are great too in DS2. Like, aesthetically is great. Hey, we found the Alonne Knight armor, so let's read that. Armor worn by the Alonne Knights. The bonds of the Alonne Knights, who served the old Iron King, were mightier than the land's iron. But in the end, the knights were subsumed by the flames that brought the castle down. So what's the link between chaos and lava? It feels like the games want to make there be a link between them, but it never quite follows through. I really don't want to be using Estus. I guess it makes sense because in Dark 1 they go through such great pains to say that humanity has weight, and I suppose that meant that since lava is fire basically given weight. Yeah. Thank you for waiting for me to switch spells there. That lava is very similar to humanity. That's just me spitballing though. Let's try this again. Oh, come on. Yeah. I thought I had time to enter. Oh, yeah, yeah. With Demonkind and Izalith? Where else do I have to go? I do have to beat up on Duke's Dear Freya. So if we're unable to get through, then I'll go attempt to beat up on Duke's Dear Freya. I think Izalith's mistake is trying to create life from nothing, essentially. Like you're missing a vital spark to creating life when they try to recreate the first flame. Very much like creating a golem. Like that imitation just didn't work. Yeah. So kind of makes more sense if you've watched or read like Full Metal Alchemist. Poison is super good in this game, y'all. It's another tick in the win counter. That's a kiln, like an actual kiln, not the way Dark Souls like calls a kiln a kiln, but that is actually a kiln. But yeah, if you know FMA and FMA Brotherhood, you know that creating life results in bad things. And it's kind of the same with Izalith's mistake. Like, I get the point, guys. There's Alonne Knights. Does there have to be a whole brigade? Izalith did nothing wrong. I want to go to a Souls convention with that on a shirt. Hashtag Izalith did nothing wrong. Run! Moobot bullying people again. Cool it. Cool it, Moobot. We're slowly trying to kill Alonne Knights. Look at that Alonne Knight. He's like, how do I get up there? I can't jump. This isn't that type of game. Even Demon Souls had a jump mechanic, and I don't have it. Moobot is a he's an automated moderator. Because I sit on the floor away from my computer. So Moobot does most of the minor lifting for me, and he has he has commands. And since I'm usually by myself streaming, like my computer is out of arm's reach basically. Three, 4, there. Poison, man. It's pretty bad. Poison is stupid in this game. Theomony is my preferred name. Casedative is a mask for the email I use for YouTube. Here's a guy who doesn't like the fact that I cheesed one of his knights. Alright, let's see here. $220. Being close to him burns you. that sucks. I didn't even try to dodge that. Ah, dang it, I forgot that move. Yeah. He has, 2 or 3, depending on how you count it, phases. When you do, like, a quarter, he will put his sword into him, and, there's a lot more fire. So yeah, I forgot, like, that I can't dodge backwards in his second phase. Although listening to his audio is a lot easier to know when to dodge him than it would be otherwise. Dark Souls 2 does break a fundamental rule of Souls design, and I don't think for the better. They decided a while ago that if the boss is hard, then the run back should be relatively easy. And this comes back for like Dark Bloodborne. For instance, Amy G is probably one of the hardest bosses in the series, or at least in Bloodborne, for Defiled, and like Defiled Amy G's run back is like 5 seconds. But they break that rule in Dark 2, which is, eh. I'm thinking I might need an amber herb for smelter. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta deposit. I had to do that for Dark Lurker. ONS was okay for me. Actually, the first phase was a lot easier than the second. When I fought ONS the first time, granted, I fought ONS after like Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 3, and all that. So like I knew basic rules of keeping them both in your camera and stuff. So I had the Quelaag's Fury Sword my first time through, and so I like just ripped apart one of them. And then I had a harder time actually killing Super Ornstein, because I killed him first. So I did not want to deal with Super Ornstein in New Game Plus. It seems pretty long, but there was actually only one enemy that you had to know was there. You didn't have to fight everything else. I had a really short run for that. Like, it was just straight down. The only thing that would get me on that run to Manus was the Hexer. If she got me, if she cast Dark Beat at the wrong time, she would have hit me on the back on the stone bridge down. And normally she'd miss me, but a lot of the time she would hit me. That would be the only enemy I had to worry about. But that was like a 1 minute bot, like not very long to run. No. I just want to kill you. False King, Demon Souls boss runs were very long because you only got the first Archstone for the beginning of the level and then the boss, so you did have to run a while. But usually there was a couple of good shortcuts. Usually, like what's it called? Valley of Defilement, Dirty Colossus. It wasn't bad, although 5-1 was the worst of the two. Then again, the run to what's her face was very short comparatively. Like the Archdemon boss fights were like 5 seconds. So rude. But I remember hearing that like it was kind of a Miyazaki rule that if the boss fight was going to be difficult, the run back should be generally painless and or short. This run back is, well, you can see it. And Dark Liquor I actually had to depopulate before I could get it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The frigid outskirts, just in general. I did that on stream for my first run, and oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. JSF was there. He was like, I'm really sorry that you had to do this. Well. Yeah, the twin cats. There's like, what, 42 boss fights in Dark Souls 2? Well, that's one night gone, I guess. Rip that night. Yeah, Manus' run is super short. Funnily enough, now that I'm thinking about Manus, Manus has a very similar wombo combo to Gwyn. They both do that same sort of big sweeping combo attacks. Well, yeah, Soul Cinder does it too. Soul of Cinder Gwyn mode. Yeah. Those two diagonals and like the crazy thing. And only the Gwyn version of Soul of Cinder does that moveset. The one I'm thinking about anyway. Hey Ghost Manon, how's it going? Nice to see you. We are currently depopulating the Iron Keep. Yeah, I saw it. I think it's silly. I love the Gale boss fight. I was actually questioned about it the other day because I was interviewed for a podcast on Saturday, which was a lot of fun. And it won't be out for a few months yet, but I think Manus has very little to do with Filianor, and more to do with Half-Light is the elephant in the room with that. I can. It's just I don't know if you guys care until it's actually a thing. Would you? Dang it. It was Don't Give Up Skeleton. So I'll be on there. I don't know when, probably in a couple months or so. But I did the interview on Saturday. But yeah, like the Manus theory forgets that Half-Light is a thing. And Half-Light is Ulycelian. Just gonna kill these things now. Yeah, it's a pretty rockin' PvP area. Totally forgot about that guy. No, but stupid Alonne Knight. But nothing. Manus is very Manus. I completely disagree with the Manus and Filianor thing. Gotta drink that mango juice. Man. Yeah, like, it forgets that Half-Light is a thing, and it's Half-Light who has the thing for Filianor. And it's probably Half-Light's, probably not even probably, it is Half-Light's bow and arrow. I come up with crack theories, but I acknowledge them as crack theories. Yeah. Sometimes a character is just a character in one game and doesn't need to be completely linked to the other games. They are far more interesting when they're thematically cousins. No, I think he had that bow from White Birch Trees from Ulyssil. Because they share very similar things to, like, Dusk's Catalyst and stuff like that. My bonkers theory about Half-Light is that he became a deer. You still gotta hunt, man. You still gotta hunt food. Madeir. It's because, if you look up Madeir in Irish mythology, Madeir tried to steal a king's wife because he was in love with her. And he turned her into a swan along with a bunch of other women. And he had the king try and choose which one was his wife. He ended up choosing his daughter out of all the swans. And so Irish Madeir skated off with the woman he wanted. Yeah, they found Manus buried in there, and then they tried to study him, and because they wanted something, and they drove him nuts. Actually, for serious, I want a Cat Did Nothing Wrong t-shirt. Solaire was an idiot, which is just about the same as evil, I guess. Check out this dead guy, though. Hey, can you handle the glory that is my spells? Alonne Knights run to you so silly. There's something really silly about how they run. It's like they're mincing or something. Eventually, they will be no more. Yeah, I assume they were basically druids. Luciel? I assume they were basically druids. Alright, yeah. Half-Light is a missionary. He was there on a missionary, like a diplomatic mission to be like, hey guys, why don't we open up relations between you and us? And probably Half-Light was trying to tell the pygmies, hey, I have one of your cousins hanging out in Ulasil. Do you want him back? Not knowing that, like, Cath had gotten to them and was doing his thing with Ulasil. Yeah, so, like, they were probably trying to make some diplomatic relations between, because that's what you do when you're a government. You make diplomatic relations, and Half-Light was there, and he probably saw Filianor and he was like, I need to stay. And yeah, Ghostman, and I was super psyched to see that. It's gonna be 4 hours. Get some nice get a nice lemonade if you're in the zone of heat. Get a nice hot cocoa if you are living in Australia. Some snacks. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I know I'm going to put it on this television through the PS4 YouTube app. I'm just gonna sit and do that. I'm not going to watch it through a computer. Yeah. Aegon is kind of one of the vectors where I got started with actually spewing a bunch of lore theories, because I was a YouTube commenter, and then I decided, guess I'll throw my stuff somewhere I can find it later. Yeah, like the PS4 YouTube app is super good. So I'll just yell at my controller because the controller is voice activated when there's a microphone. And I'll tell it to start YouTube. Other things that are great on the PS4 is the Drama Fever app. Netflix is good. HBO Go is good. Yeah. Same. Hunter, same. I was writing like huge essay lengths for comments, and I decided to make them into actual essays. Real job or essay. Jerks! Yeah, I can't hit him from here. Get down here. No, I was drinking. I do like the backstab animation for when they're too tall. It makes me think that it wasn't meant to be the Sword of Avowal. Like they named it the Sword of Avowal at Londor because it was what they were taught it was, but it probably isn't. Or if it is a vowel, then FromSoft is playing with our knowledge of English again. Oh, it's definitely the dark sign. It's dark. It's definitely the dark sign. It is almost of a certainty that it is the dark sign. Yeah, they are. Most, if not all, of the statuary depicts it as a burden placed upon them. They have to carry. It's very similar to Jesus' crucifixion imagery, and how he carried his own albatross through the streets of Galilee up to the Garden of Gehenna. there's no bisecting it. Like the Sword of Owl is like there's a spike through it, but it's the same symbolic. Now I have to look it up. Mer. I'm not like at a computer. Alright, one more run through. And then I am... because the Swords of Avowal are on the battlements of the church. And I'm pretty sure they have the sword through the ring itself there too. Like, I think FromSoft is probably playing with our knowledge of English, because they do that. Alright, one more run through, and then I'm gonna go fight a big spooter. Depopulating sucks. Well, he's gone. Rip him. What about you? You here? Yeah, you're still here. I can see the Sword of Avowal being a sort of symbol of rebellion for Londor. It's taking somebody's symbol and then adding new meaning to the semiotics of it. So edgy. We have a timeshare in Londor. All right. Well. Edgelord Hollows. Black, white, gold, silver. These are all the opposites that have been like throughout the franchise. Alright, let's go kill a big spooter. I'm sick of this as much as you guys are probably sick of watching it. Yes, I did see the Matthew Matosis video. I think I respect the work, but I disagree with not 9/10 of it. I find like it starts with his thesis statement. I think is based on fallacy. He calls Demon Souls this revolutionary work that started the Souls formula, and he's pretty much wrong with that. The Souls formula started with Kingsfield and Shadow Tower and Kingsfield in 1992. FromSoft has had the same formula for about 20 some odd years. Dude's working on a fallacy if he thinks that even Armored Core is runs on the same formula except it's mechs. Like he's letting his fanboyism for Demon Souls cloud his vision, and it's really ironic that he complains that the fan base forgot about Demon Souls like they forgot about Dre, and he forgets about Kingsfield. Pretty ironic. IMO. So there's a lot I disagree with. I respect the work, but I think he is no, Armored Core is based on stamina-based combat management. It's very similar, actually. Like, there's differences because obviously it's a mech, but it's still stamina-based combat at the end of the day. Get out of here, spooters. Like, I think he built his entire video essay on a fallacy based on rose-colored glasses for the way the Souls fan base used to be, tiny and non-mainstream. And he's pretty salty about it. Even with combat, like, okay, they've streamlined it, but that's just called evolution. And they've adjusted accordingly for, like, those encounters and those types of encounters. It's different. It's not good or bad. I think it probably is the Eternal Ring of Dark Souls, of the Souls games. Like, no one remembers Eternal Ring. I like to joke that this is Armored Spider version 3. It's a FromSoft game. It's published by Agitech, like almost all of them. Quelaag. Version 1 is obviously Armored Spider. I knew that that hit was risky. I'm just waiting for a chance. Dang it. I deserve that. The reason I'm using a torch is because the little spooters are afraid of the fire. Deserved. Although this armor spider has better armor. Taking that safety heal. Get out of here. Jerks. Oh no, the flames! Please! Please, boss. Please don't hit me with your flames. Oh god, why? The spiders are very, very aggressive when you don't have flame. That's why I poked it to death instead of used my sorcery. Run away! Seed Soul you will only get in New Game Plus. You'll only get the actual original Lord Souls in New Game Plus. Duke's Dear Freya is separate from the actual, like, souls. And Duke's Dear Freya actually didn't the spiders actually have the spiders here have a lot in common with ROM spiders. Like, they'll do a dive bomb, except they have poison on their tips. And the thing about the boss, okay, so you saw the way I deal with that boss. I just continue to go in big circles, and that baits pretty much like her melee attacks and her laser. She will spit out poison. You saw once that she spit out like webbing, and that's directly from Armored Spider. Armored Spider in Death does that too. And like her melee attacks and stuff like that. She does jumps, she does bull rushes, stuff like that. The spiders, if you went and killed them, if you don't do the torch thing to get them away from you, if you kill them, 2 or 3 more will always pop in to try and help their mom. So also underneath the spider there's a bit of sludge that slows down your movement. So you're always you feel heavier than you probably should be. I think the boss is fine. It's not memorable. It's just another armored spider without the fire and more poison and helpers. Armored Spider, if you've never played Demon Souls, you enter a room like this one, and you have to like run down like 60 feet to even get to Armored Spider, and you have to like run down, avoiding her webbing, because if she webs you, she will burn you to a crisp. And you have to come over here and like wait for an opening and then hit Armored Spider a couple of times and then repeat. I wasn't really a big fan of most Demon Souls bosses. I was more of a fan for their stories, but actually fighting them I wasn't a big fan. So this is the Lord's private chamber. He is wearing... That's the other thing with Matthew Matos's Demon Souls video. Like he cheers for all of these puzzle bosses as new and different, but I didn't really find them that memorable, except for Old King Alonne, who is a straight up fight, and Flame Lurker, who's a straight up fight. Okay, so like I was saying, the Lord's private chamber, he is wearing the same armor as one of our merchants. He's also got a bastard sword, I think, but he's wearing that. He gives us the Brightstone key, which allows us access to a couple of treasures, and the Dark Quartz ring plus Uno, which says the following. Pyromancer Glocken was criticized for crafting these replicas, which means this is a fake. But it is well known that they have saved the life of many a traveler, so it's a fake that does work, but not as well, but still works. I don't think that's singular to Demon Souls. And you've got Kingsfield, and you've got Shadow Tower, which both did weird, stupid things. FromSoft isn't afraid of weird, stupid things. It's just different now. Evolved, maybe. Polished up. Maybe he liked it less polished. I don't know. Can't speak for him. I'm waiting for Matthew Matosis to issue a retraction on his original Dark Souls video. The one that basically became the foundation for the I Hate Dark Souls meme. Where's my repair powder? Do I even have any left? Yeah, but it's all gimmick fights in Demon Souls. You've got like 2 straight up fights. 3 if you fail a quest on purpose. Yeah, his DS2 video became the foundation for the DS2 hate meme. I don't think From has stopped doing weird, charming stuff. It's just we're used to it now. But yeah, like, I respect the work, I just don't agree with most of his points. H-Bomber Guy, the thing about H-Bomber Guy is that was a shitpost. And people fell for that shitpost. Please excuse my language, but H-Bomber Guy is a... that DS2 thing was a shitpost. And people fell for it, and that was pretty funny. I liked his newest video on Sherlock being bad and terrible. I hadn't picked that up before. Alrighty. Like...
Proceed, bearer of the curse. It is the only choice left to you.
Wait, do I have over 1 million? I don't have 1 million. I now have 5 slots. Hooray! He posts on Something Awful, and I've posted on Something Awful since like 2007. I kind of have a feeling of when it is a shitpost and when it's not. His sense of humor is hard to detect a lot of the time. He knew very well what kind of reaction he was going to get with that video. And half of that video egged it on. I have no doubt he likes DS2 a lot, but he knew very well he was going to catch a lot of flack for what he did. Yeah, I only got 601,000. Well, I've got one more Lord Soul to acquire. But yeah, those are my reactions to Matthew Matosis' video. I think his thesis is shaky, and it could have stood some more editing. That's it. Like, I love Demon Souls. Its storytelling is great, but I'm not gonna hold it up as some, like, prize because he's salty that FromSoft is now somehow mainstream. Which is really the read I got. That was mean, Alonne Knights. Yeah, I got that feeling that he's the fipster. Listen, remember, video games is a business. And the thing that's keeping FromSoft from being even more of a business is that its parent company is Kodansha. Kodansha is a publisher of books and manga. Not Berserk. I looked it up. But they publish books for the most part. And that's that. Publishers aren't going to force FromSoft to do anything they don't want to do. They have a board of directors who have directed lots of their weirder games. They have Miyazaki. And they have a parent company. I thought it was Kodansha. I'd have to look it up. But it is a book publisher. All I know is I was disappointed that they don't publish Berserk because I would have loved that ease of licensing. Kadokawa has their fingers in a lot of pies. But be that it may, video games are a business. Remember that. Listen, the legal surrounding Demon Souls is why A, there's not going to be a remake, and B, there's not going to be a Death 2. There are 4 publishers surrounding Demon Souls. Sony will do whatever Sony is probably the easiest to deal with, but even they won't cross Sega, which owns Atlas now, and Bandai Namco in Europe. Like, people don't like hanging out with Sega. And Atlas is owned by Sega now. I'm actually waiting for the announcement that Sega refuses to pay for those servers anymore. And I think if anybody knows, it's Epic Name Bro, and I've never heard him talk about how there would have been a Demon Souls 2. Yeah, if you want to play Demon Souls on PS4, get a Japanese PS Now account and cough up the 3,000 yen for 30 days. And good luck. Yeah, Ian B hung out with Miyazaki. He talks about how he, like, had beers with him when he was still living in Japan and working with Future Press. So, like, I would trust Ian B. That was an audio dodge. Right in the middle, really? I thought I was not gonna make it out of that. I'm down. Yeah. That's how you fight Smolder Dooman. What killed me is if you're really near him or like rubbing up against him, his fire will burn you a little bit, and that got me the last bit. Just needed to hang on for like half a second more. When you hear him start to move his armor, that's when you need to dodge. That's about it. Moon Presence needed a better moveset. But as far as I'm concerned, Moon Presence is really just a victory lap. That was early. Early again. Dang it. Too many times early. Hey, Brian. I don't know if I said hello. The spike in difficulty you can feel really hard in if you activate Champion's Covenant. No! Champion's Covenant is has been a bit of a trip. Even leveling up lessens the difficulty to some people. Hence the... Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Like choosing a spell, choosing the royal class in Demon Souls, and then going for the Enchanted Blade in 4-1 makes a lot of early game Demon Souls quite a bit less difficult. But that also comes with knowledge, and knowledge in these games especially lowers the difficulty. Knowledge is certainly power. I'm sure there are some people who, like, honestly say that. I am certainly not interested in doing Soul Level 1. My name is not Mike Villalobos. He can certainly have that. He's done it. I'm sure Lobos has done it. I'm super sure he's done it. He's been playing Scholar actually for Humble Bundle. Oh, come on. Dang it. Yeah, like, he's done some crazy things. I admire him for it. It's just, not something I'm willing to give that to him. Lobos is indeed a beast. Oh yeah. Did he finish all 3 games already? I heard him talking about that, but that was a while ago. I honestly thought Faraz Khan was going to beat him to it. I'm gonna have so much to sell to Gavlan soon. Come on. That's annoying. Yes, I know, I don't have any life gems. I can go to sleep knowing that one day you know Midir does that, Toby. Side note. And for as much as people complain about Midir, and I do agree he had too much health when they first released him, like a smidge too much. His moveset is designed to punish you if you are thinking he's just like every other dragon in the series. Awesome. Congratulations to him. That's a lot of concentration. It's a lot of slow, methodical, like, concentration. And like, watching a challenge runner is actually really good because they'll discover things about a boss you can use normally. It's, from what I've observed, and like, Midir, people get it in their heads that all dragons in Dark Souls have to be fought the same way, i.e., get behind them and hack away at their feet. Midir's entire moveset is based around telling you, don't do this. Midir has roll catches up the wazoo. His legs are highly armored. Lock-on only has 1 point, which should tell you, hit him in the head. So, like, if you think you're going to fight him, like a dragon, you're sorely mistaken and you're going to have a bad time. His entire moveset is to teach you how to fight him. My only criticism is he probably has too much health, but if you fight him correctly, it rewards you with like a 5,000 hit point damage riposte. Ooh, I wanted to switch. Dang it. Shoot. Yeah, that was bad. Actually, something about Madeir's AI. I guess I'll kill Smelter tomorrow. I was really close the first actual time I fought him. I just had some really bad dodges those last 2 times. Probably because it is getting to be that time. Doesn't seem like we did a lot of work, but we did do a lot of work in that we depopulated a bad room. And we killed Duke's Dear Freya. The thing about Madeir is that his AI is pretty much the same AI as Defiled Emig. It doesn't know what to do with itself when there's 2 or more summons on the field. Like, it flips its concentration a lot. Like, it flips out. Sort of like Defiled Emig. So if you're like a meleeer, it's hard to chase him down to get actual damage on. Unless both summons are melee guys and they both know what to do. I've had a really good summon where I was a Sunbro with another Sunbro, and we basically both, in concert, whacked them on the head. And we did a double riposte at the end. It was pretty glorious. But I prefer Madeir solo in melee. Just dodge straight back, pat him on the head when he lowers his head. Rinse, repeat. His Shin Godzilla stuff is the hardest part of it. IMO. Mercury is super good. Won't deny Mercury, but I usually don't have Mercury on me. Because the whole fight teaches you how to fight him. It's just, if you're not listening to the boss, then you're gonna have a bad time. Also, is it me? But does that look like a crystal lizard up top? It might just be me. Also, my crazy theory about Madeir is that Madeir's not actually a dragon and is half-light turned into a dragon. That was my crazy theory. Based on Irish mythology, Madeir. Looks like a lizard. Just sunning himself. It's probably just me. Alright guys, do you guys have any like thoughts about what we experienced and stuff like that today? Stuff about like the old Iron King, Duke's Dear Freya, etc, etc. cause Midir did too good. He was too good of a doggy, and he ate too much of the bad stuff. Actually, here's my thing about Midir's moveset. Midir is on the verge of going nuts. He's eaten too much dark, and his temper tantrums are literally him and his body, like, going through phases of both blind rage, keyed off by the dark within him, and when in those moments of clarity where he realizes he needs to die, he lowers his head for you to hit him a couple of times before he flies back into that blind rage fueled by the dark within him. He has moments of clarity during his exhaustion states, especially after his 6 attack combo. Like, him lowering his head is not something a dragon who doesn't want to die would do. But yeah, like that's the story of Midir in his boss fight. Like, the way he moves seems like two different individuals. One who just wants to kill you, and then one who wants to die. We'll get Smelter next time. He was almost dead. If I wasn't that close to him, he would have been dead. Looks like a Buddha up there. For those who might want to know, I'm at 618,000 soul memory. Level 86. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. 3 hours is like a whole day's worth of like time stamping, basically. So if you guys have nothing else to add or say or anything that's gonna like hit you in the near like 10 seconds, I'm going to say thank you guys for joining me. I will see you next time, probably after everyone's seen Aegon's video, because that should be in the middle of rendering, uploading now, so that's like 28 some odd hours. So hopefully it'll probably be after Aegon's video, and we can all chat about that too. So thank you for joining me, and praise the sun. I'll see you guys later.